Hey guys, it's Spilly and welcome back to Spill Sesh. So this isn't the Sunday special. I do have a separate video that is coming out for the Sunday special, but it was very long already, so I didn't want to include this and have it be an extra long video. This kind of just deserved its own. So let's get right into it. We're talking about Daisy Keech. She is a co-founder of the Hype House, and that title in itself is what sparked this entire Hype House drama. The Hype House is falling apart, and I'm getting into it all right now. Daisy Keech was an influencer. She was already very big on Instagram, and she ended up being a co-founder in the Hype House and has since been kicked out of the Hype House, unfollowed on all social media, and there is a lot to unpack here. So she posted a video on her YouTube channel, and it is titled Truth About the Hype House, where she so maturely talked about the entire situation and how this whole thing has affected her, and basically spilled all the tea on what has been going on in the Hype House, all of the information on the co-founders, how things have been running, and it is not looking good for the members of the Hype House. According to the media, Chase, Lil Huddy, and Thomas are the co-founders of the Hype House. And in fact, there are more than just the two of them that are co-founders like Daisy that have been left out. Basically, how the Hype House came to be was Daisy Keech was friends with Thomas. They were best friends. And Thomas was in Team 10. And I know a lot of you didn't pay attention to Team 10 after the new Team 10 members came along, so he was part of that. And he ended up getting kicked out. So they let him go, and Daisy was like, hey, like, you're my really good friend. I believe in you. Come work for me, edit some stuff, take my photos, and, you know, this is way you can still get paid, you can be employed, all this stuff. So the two of them were working together, and they were very close, and Thomas had the idea to create a content house of his own, very much like Team 10. And now that TikTok was starting to blow up, they had more connections. He was taking photos of a lot of other creators, and they got together and they decided that they were going to start looking on Zillow, looking for homes, and they found one, and there was a 40-something thousand deposit that they needed to get the current Hype House. In order to rent this house, they really needed to get a lot of money together. Now, Chase, Lil Huddy, and Daisy put down $18,000 each. $18,000. Apparently Thomas only put down $5,000, and there were a few other people, I believe she said Alex and Clover, that put down $5,000 as well. So they all are co-founders, they all put money, they all invested in the idea of the Hype House. They knew they needed a big enough house that they could have a lot of creators living together to create content. They all called each other co-founders. But once the Hype House really took off and the New York Times came to the house, Chase already had a manager, and Chase's manager was telling him he needs to speak up, make sure that they know you are a co-founder. Daisy did not have representation like that. She didn't have a manager at the time in person to tell her what to say in order to sell herself as a co-founder. She just felt like Thomas and Chase would do the right and loyal thing and give credit to everybody that put money down towards the Hype House. Now, in this situation, Chase and Thomas only named themselves as co-founders, and of course, as a result, in the articles that were written, Thomas and Chase were the only ones that were given credit as co-founders. And she spoke up about this. She said she had a conversation with Thomas about how, you know, everybody needs credit, not just herself. She said she spoke up for the other people as well that put money down. And I personally just feel like it's so disrespectful for these two men to cut out other people that put money down, especially Thomas, who only put down a certain amount of money where Daisy put down a whole chunk of money. And for Chase to not acknowledge her as well, that's not okay with me. She continues on and she says that they continued to say that the two of them were the only co-founders in more interviews, and after speaking up multiple times, it just seemed like Thomas was getting full of himself. So he started to really run the entire Hype House. He controls all of the social media, all of the Instagrams. He has access to the emails, and he seems to be the only one that is controlling what is being said about the Hype House and the members, and basically like the rankings of everyone. I feel like Thomas really got full of himself in Team 10. This is kind of just a theory that I have, and he was like, I want to be the Jake Paul. And even though he didn't have the money to front, he found people that could help him front it, and now he's running it. Even though he did not have the money in the beginning, like Daisy and Chase did. And Daisy does mention this later on in the video, that she feels like this entire time Thomas just used her and her followers and her money to start the Hype House. And he never really was a true friend. He was just another fake LA friend, which is really heartbreaking. That is something that you have to consider when you're in LA. So according to Daisy, the Hype House has not made any money. None of them have seen a check roll through of any profit that the Hype House has made. But apparently Thomas has money because he bought himself an $8,000 Cartier bracelet. He wants to buy a new Tesla. And she thinks it's just a little sketchy that he happens to have all this money, but none of them have seen a check come through. Now, recently, this past week, the Hype House released merchandise, and they're selling hoodies and sweatpants and t-shirts and stuff. And I'm just wondering, how are they going to divide that money? Who is getting the profit from the merchandise? I would really want to know how the percentages are going to work. That is just a mess in itself. So after speaking up about how, she wants a cut of whatever the profits are going to be, she was trying to work out her percentage. She was trying to make sure that if this all went down and there was going to be merchandise and we were going to be making brand deals and all of this stuff, that she was going to be getting a percentage. And she said that Thomas had ignored her lawyer, and was not speaking to her whatsoever. The biggest drama and the fallout that happened the most was when they shot the Blueberry Faygo music video at the Hype House. Now, this is a home they are renting. And when you are renting a home, you have a landlord that is watching whatever you do. And you had to sign a contract in the beginning, and it gives you like the rules and all of this stuff. And I just know a landlord would not allow a bunch of people to be in this home shooting a music video that could potentially destroy the property and all of this stuff. And for Daisy's name to be on the lease, it's very unprofessional for Thomas to approve a music video happening without anybody else's consent. So she said that he had texted the group chat that this music video was going to be happening. He never said what day it was. She came home that day. There were people in her room, clothing racks, people everywhere. And that's so unprofessional. It's not okay, because if there was any damage, her name would be on there. She would have to pay whatever the damages were. It's just ridiculous that she would have to be held responsible for anything that happened that damaged the property, but for her to not even get credit as the co-founder is just ridiculous. So after this music video situation, she had started to speak her mind way more. And as a result, Thomas started to unfollow her on all social media, personal, the Hype House, and apparently held a meeting with the rest of the members of the Hype House to unfollow her. And she says she doesn't know if Thomas had already been having meetings without her, leaving her out and making sure that she was no longer going to be a member of the Hype House. Her name is still on the lease, but yet they have kicked her out of the Hype House. She had said that Thomas started talking about internal businesses and that they need to file trademarks. She originally filed for them first because she knows she has been an influencer. She knows what the business entails. And as soon as she filed, she told Thomas. He tried to tell her that she did them incorrectly. And now Thomas and Chase have filed together to own the name The Hype House and sell all this stuff with the name. So none of that has been approved. It has not been approved that Daisy is, gonna get the trademark. It has not been approved that Chase and Thomas are gonna get the name. It's ridiculous that the members of the Hype House currently, some of them are still co-founders and just haven't really spoken up. It has since been reported by many outlets, including Forbes, that Daisy is suing Thomas and Chase because they were making deals behind her back and they exiled her from the group. And as a result, she is suing them for basically her cut, her rights to still make money and own the Hype House, and whatever they make, she deserves a cut at the end of the day because she did invest in the company. Apparently, Clover put down money, is a co-founder, but she's really not sticking up for Daisy because she posted on her Instagram story last night because Daisy was talking about how, she was disrespected and how Thomas was treating her very poorly, talking about how women are basically not able to run a business. That's basically what he was saying. He was saying this is like a man's world, and women that have Instagrams are only known to be like an Instagram model. They have a shelf life. They won't last in this industry as long as he would, which is disgusting. It's ridiculous. He denied saying that to her face, but this is something that he had said to her lawyer. So I don't think a lawyer would lie to their client, but Clover went on Instagram and started to post about Daisy's video. She said, when a girl that talks about mistreating women actually mistreated women, if we're all about being empowered to speak up, here we go. She posted text messages between her and Daisy and said, if you're going to say things about speaking up and being empowered yet degrade people, I really can't. And in these text messages, it's between Clover and Daisy, and Clover starts it off. She says, no, I've done 3 loads of laundry in the past 2 days. She said, oh, good for you. You didn't put down 18K. She said, so what? I didn't put down 18K. I've still done a lot for this house. She said, no, except me and Chase. She said, not everything is about money. She said, what have you done besides be Alex's girlfriend? And you have the nerve to say it? You were just in the laundry room. Why didn't you come talk to me in person? She said, you're never around to see anything. You always leave or hang out with other people. You're not even here for press days. You go to the gym. A lot of people were saying that these text messages are normal text messages between someone and their roommate, and if this is her just saying that Daisy is putting down women, that's kind of ridiculous. You can't really compare Daisy telling her that she's just someone's girlfriend and that, she didn't put this much money down or put as much money down as her as a comparison to saying a man can run a business and not a girl. Then she goes on Twitter and she says, I can't stand it when girls say that they hate being mistreated and stepped on, yet step on other girls. Don't lie. So one of Daisy's best friends actually went on Instagram, Abby, and decided to say, hey, why don't you show the rest of the text messages? Because right now you're just making Daisy look bad because, you think it's cute and you're still a member of the Hype House and you're trying to defend it. But if you look, you can really see that this altercation in the text messages, nothing was said very nicely to each other. So if you're going to say that Daisy was the one that was being rude and disrespectful in these text messages, let's read what you said that was rude and disrespectful. Daisy's not just going to come at someone for no reason. There was obviously stuff said before that isn't very nice. So in the text messages, this is from Daisy's phone. She was obviously showing her friend what the real text messages said, and this is what they said. So after the last text message that Clover said, which was, you're never here on press days, you go to the gym, she said, because I refuse to live in a messy house, why the F would I want to be around? So don't call yourself a co-founder if you're not going to be around here all the time putting in effort. Tell me what you've done for the house. You lay in bed all day, miss. I get done. Almost every day I ask Thomas what I can do to help, and he tells me work on my own brand. No one even knows you're a part of this, so you had to compensate and put co-founder in your bio. That's how little you do. Why are you avoiding my question? Is that because you can't even name anything? Sad. My videos get millions of views on Hype House. What do yours get? I'm there for Thomas when he's going through. I coordinate maids and the trash guy to come so you can take your entitlement out of here. I put money down for this house so the Hype House could be a thing. Oh wow, you so clouded. The Hype House would be a thing with or without you. You don't matter. Ha ha ha, you're saying mine don't? Go look at my page, sweetheart. Go look at my bank account. I work my butt off all day, every day. You only get views, likes, because you're provocative and show your butt and top half. I have respect. So that's pretty much all that I'm going to read right there. If Clover wants to come out and say that Daisy is being disrespectful and degrading women, why is she coming at Daisy and saying that, the only reason why she gets likes and views is because she shows her body? That's disrespectful and that's not okay. You shouldn't judge anyone if that is their content or whatever. So what? She loves her body. Let's be body positive. And also, I saw that people were posting that, Clover's content isn't so PG either. So why is she saying that? It's ridiculous. For her to say that the Hype House would still be a thing without Daisy, it doesn't seem like it, because where were you going to get that $18,000 from? If Clover only put down $5,000, Thomas only put down $5,000, Alex only put down $5,000, and Chase put down 18, where were they going to get the other 18 from? It just doesn't make any sense to me how they are letting Thomas sort of control the narrative, control the money, all of this stuff. They're slowly going to dwindle if Thomas is going to be the one controlling everybody and everything. Slowly, people are going to leave. More people are going to speak up like Daisy. Money controls a lot of things and power gets into people's minds. And if people are making more money than others, there's going to be a problem. I just know it. This is just the start. I mean, the only thing that Thomas has really said on Instagram has just been, "I'm so over fake people. Thank God karma is real. That's how I always know I'll be okay." And then he also said, "Lies on lies on lies." Now, everybody that has watched Daisy's video in the comments seem very supportive of her. They've said, if anyone hasn't noticed yet, she's not in the Hype House anymore, but she invested $18,000 in it. That's not fair at all. And then it says, Daisy is so pretty. That does not mean she can't be smart and a businesswoman. What century is this? Some people need to wake up. And then other people have just praised the fact that she has explained everything so clearly and everything made sense. She didn't get overly upset or emotional or anything like that. She wanted to make sure that everybody understood what happened crystal clear. So let me know what you guys think about this entire thing. Basically, Daisy put down this money, never got credit for being a co-founder and putting down that money. And then she was kicked out of the Hype House because she was trying to get the credit that she deserved and speak up for other people that deserved credit as well, and wanted to be mature about how they were treating the house and the landlord and all this stuff. And now she's been kicked out. So it's absolutely ridiculous, and I want to know what you guys think about all of this drama. Anyways, I wish the best for Daisy. She's been very mature about this. She says she does forgive Thomas for everything, and she does still care about him, which is super mature of her because of all the stuff that he's done to her. But anyways, I love you all so much. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will talk to you later on. Bye, guys.